Taylor Swift has often been criticized for being a serial dater and not being able to maintain a long-term romantic relationship. But on the flip side, her relationship history and dating experience has been the motivation for some of the best work and famous songs in her entire career, and has shaped her to become the strong and incredible artist and person she is today. And besides, dating is tough in today's world for everyone, not just Taylor. Breakups for most people are usually times when people sulk and cry their hearts out, but for others like Taylor Swift, they get busy in the studio recording new songs as a way to cope. Taylor Swift has an unmatched ability to turn her personal experiences with her ex-lovers, whether good, ugly, or downright terrible, and use that as inspiration in some of her finest and best songs. To this day, Taylor has given us so many breakup anthems. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at the history of Taylor's love life, her past relationships, or should I say the origin of most of Taylor's songs, and some of her very best work. Taking a look at everyone she's dated from 2008 all the way to 2024, how they started and how they ended. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel because it really does make a difference. Now let's get started. Love and relationships can be tricky, we all know it. Sometimes you'll think you found the one until tragedy strikes. For Taylor Swift, her journey of finding the one has been a very long one. Let's take a look at all the men Taylor has dated and what happened. Starting at number 1 is Joe Jonas. That's right, they barely dated, but they did, and somehow their breakup was the most dramatic thing ever at the time. Probably because of how Joe ended it. Wait till you hear this. So in July of 2008, Joe Jonas and Taylor Swift had a brief romantic relationship that ended in October, which Taylor confirmed in an appearance on Ellen. Joe Jonas at the time stated, "We were children, we were 18 and 19. So in November of that year, Taylor went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and mentioned that she had been dumped by Joe over the phone on a call that lasted less than 25 seconds. I mean, who does that to a star? In her words, she said this.
You know what? It's like when I find that person that is right for me and he'll be wonderful. And when I look at that person, I'm not even going to be able to remember the boy who broke up with me over the phone in 25 seconds when I was 18.
After that, Taylor went on to write Forever and Always, a fearless song about Joe. In her interview, she said, quote, "It's a song about watching somebody completely fade away in a relationship and wondering what you did wrong." And the lyrics in that video are pretty pointed. She sings, quote, "Was I out of line? Did I say something way too honest? Made you run and hide like a scared little boy?" But something else positive came out of Taylor's past relationship with Joe Jonas. When they dated, Taylor met Selena Gomez, who became one of her best friends to this day, and they're always seen together. That's because they were both dating a Jonas brother at the time. Taylor was dating Joe and Selena was dating Nick Jonas. And when asked about Selena, Taylor Swift told the Wall Street Journal, "We clicked instantly and man, that was my girl." Next on this pretty extensive list is Lucas Till, who Taylor dated from March to April 2009. Lucas actually played the next door neighbor in Taylor's You Belong With Me music video, one of her biggest songs ever at the time. And Lucas later revealed in an interview with MTV that they were actually dating. He said, quote, "We dated for a little bit, but there was no friction because we were too nice. We just really both liked each other. With us, I really just liked her as a friend. That's the only reason that didn't work out." So Taylor might have got friend zoned. At least that's his story anyway. And moving on to number 3 is Taylor Lautner. Most Swifties at the time tagged this relationship as Taylor Squared. From October to December 2009, Taylor was in a romantic relationship with Twilight star Taylor Lautner. The two met when they co-starred as high school sweethearts in the romantic comedy Valentine's Day. Swift's well-known song Back to December from her 2010 album Speak Now is actually said to be an apology to Lautner for what happened the night she ended their relationship. In the song, Taylor sings, quote, "Your tanned skin, your sweet smile," on top of an apology for a rough night in December. It's about Taylor Lautner and the night she dumped him. Since then, Swift and Lautner have gotten along really well and mended their relationship. After Taylor Swift's Speak Now was released, Lautner appeared in a music video for the song I Can See You with Joey King and Presley Cash. The video was later unveiled at a Kansas City show for the Eras Tour when Lautner, King, and Cash joined her on stage. And that's proof that time really does heal all wounds. Next up on the list is John Mayer at number 4. Now these two, you just can't forget this relationship. Taylor dated John Mayer for just a few months, December 2009 until February 2010. At the time, Taylor was just 19 and Mayer was 32. They were only dating for a few months, but their breakup was a complete mess because of John's response to Taylor writing Dear John about him, which was a track in Taylor's 2010 Speak Now album. In the song, Taylor wrote, "Don't you think I was too young to be messed with? The girl in the dress cried the whole way home. I should have known. And since then, John hasn't publicly spoken well of Taylor. He even went on to say the song humiliated him. He even complained to the Rolling Stone in an interview saying, quote, "I never got an email. I never got a phone call. I was really caught off guard and it really humiliated me at the time when I'd already been dressed down. I mean, how would you feel if at the lowest you've ever been, someone kicked you even lower?" He even went on to criticize her for writing songs about breakups, saying this, "I will say as a songwriter that I think it's kind of cheap songwriting. I know she's the biggest thing in the world and I'm not trying to sink anyone's ship, but I think it's abusing your talent to rub your hands together and go, wait till he gets a load of this. That's bullshit." But over time, things seem to have gotten better between the two. Fast track to June 2023, when Taylor actually asked her followers not to criticize John online before the release of Speak Now, Taylor's version during an Eras Tour performance. It seems Taylor and John have finally gotten over their differences and decided to put it behind them. Taylor said, quote, "I'm 33 years old. I don't care about anything that happened to me when I was 19, except for the songs that I wrote." Moving on to number 5. Jake Gyllenhaal. Taylor dated Jake from October 2010 until January 2011. And if you have been following Taylor Swift for a long time, then you already know where this is heading. This was one of Taylor's most public relationships. Actually, when Taylor was seen in 2010 casually walking through Brooklyn streets with her arm around Jake Gyllenhaal, her admirers were taken by surprise. Unfortunately, their relationship took a terrible turn, and by January of 2011, they had broken up. And apparently, it came completely out of the blue, with Jake completely taking Taylor by shock. A source said this, quote, "Jake just told her it wasn't working out. Taylor is really upset and hurt. She doesn't know what she did for him to put a stop to it. She feels really burned by him." Gyllenhaal appears to have been allegedly the inspiration for several of Taylor's songs on her album Red, including The Last Time, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, and All Too Well, even though she never actually said it literally. Rumor has it that Jake decided to call it quits since the couple's 10-year age difference wasn't working for him. When Taylor first started marketing her album Red, she called Jake an unreliable guy, but she has since let her work speak for itself. Moving on to number 6, Connor Kennedy. Taylor dated Connor Kennedy, the grandson of Robert F. Kennedy, from July to October 2012. And at the time, she did get some criticism for the age gap in their relationship. She was 22 at the time and Connor was 18. Taylor even bought a house in Hyannisport, Massachusetts, close to the Kennedy compound. The things you do for love. There were rumors that Connor's family had accused Taylor of crashing his cousin Kyle's wedding in August, and things between the two seem to have been going south from that point on. Not that Taylor's friendship with Connor seems to have had much of an impact on her songwriting, because she went on to write Red Starlight based on stories she had heard from the Kennedy family. Moving on to number 7, Harry Styles. Former member of One Direction, who dated Taylor Swift from October 2012 to January 2013. Rumors about Harry started flying around after Taylor was seen wearing his silver airplane necklace, which she also wore in the video for her track Out of the Woods, and they were first seen going public when they were photographed at the Central Park Zoo. Some Swifties think that Taylor penned her Red song I Knew You Were Trouble about her brief relationship with Harry Styles earlier in 2012 before they made their relationship official. Many people think that Taylor Swift's 2014 album 1989, which includes the songs Out of the Woods, Style, All You Had to Do Was Stay, This Love, Clean, and Wonderland, is about Harry Styles after their breakup. And despite having a difficult breakup, it does appear that Harry and Taylor are getting along pretty well these days and keeping things friendly. The internet went crazy when they reunited at the 2021 Grammys and again at the 2023 Grammys when Taylor was seen giving Harry Styles a standing ovation when he won Album of the Year. Moving on to number 8, and probably Taylor's most well-known relationship with Calvin Harris, with whom she had a pretty lengthy romance from February 2015 to May 2016. And they met at the Elle Style Awards in February. The pair would frequently share pictures on their social media profiles and walk the red carpet together. They were all over the internet. But according to a number of stories, Calvin wanted to end the relationship. Many fans think that Taylor's hit song We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together was widely assumed to be about Calvin, even though none of them had said anything about it. Meanwhile, Taylor and the British DJ hit off when they first met at the Brit Awards in 2015 through a common friend, Ellie Goulding. They split up in 2016 after dating for around a year. Following their breakup, it became known that Taylor had ghostwritten Harris's popular song, This Is What You Came For, and there was a great deal of back and forth regarding her improper credit. Later, Harris went to Twitter, now X, to defend himself. He said, quote, "I wrote the song's music, produced it, arranged it, and edited the vocals though. The pseudonym was chosen because Swift originally wanted it to remain a secret." And that brings us to number 9, Tom Hiddleston. Tom was Taylor's next boyfriend after her breakup with Calvin Harris, and she dated him from May to September of 2016. This unlikely relationship relationship started at the Met Gala, where Taylor and Tom were seen dancing the night away. In June, they were spotted sharing a kiss on a Rhode Island rocky ledge. After the pictures went viral, everything picked up speed. Tom first got to know Taylor's parents in Nashville. They were caught dancing at a Selena Gomez concert, and Tom was photographed splashing around in the water with Taylor and a group of supermodels while wearing a I Love Taylor Swift tank top. But unfortunately, the couple's relationship took a bad turn in September 2016, with insiders claiming that Taylor was concerned that Tom wasn't with her for the right reasons. And that brings us to number 10, Joe Alwyn. Taylor and Joe first met at the Met Gala, and they dated from 6 years between May 2017 and April 2023. And their breakup was pretty unexpected, partly because it was almost immediately clear that they had an agreement of their relationship being an intimate but private one, and that they would protect their privacy. You didn't see the same paparazzi photo ops of Taylor's days with Tom Hiddleston or Calvin Harris. Her social media simply promoted her work and her other loves, like her cats. According to a source that spoke with People after the breakup was first reported on April 8th, the 32-year-old actor struggled with Taylor Swift's level of fame, while 33-year-old Taylor Swift at the time, quote, didn't see them working out in the long run. Still, the source added, Taylor doesn't have anything bad to say about Joe. They apparently called it quits over, quote, differences in their personalities, which some would say is code for look away, there's nothing to see here. And that brings us to number 11, Matty Healy. Fasten your seatbelts because this one takes you all the way back to Taylor and Matty's first encounter back in 2014. Although the two were friends at first, there were reports in 2016 that Taylor was seeing Matty, but Swifties did not like the way he addressed the rumors when he said dating Taylor would be, quote, an emasculating thing. So let's fast forward to January 2023. Taylor unexpectedly shows up at the 1975's O2 Arena in London, where she gives her debut live performance of Antihero in a cover of The City. Then, in May 2023, with Taylor having recently ended her 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn, new dating rumors about Matty started to surface, but they decided to call it quits after Matty made some shady remarks about Taylor's friend and karma partner, Ice Spice. During a visit to the Adam Friedland show in February, Healey chuckled when the podcast hosts Friedland and Nick Mullen joked about Ice Spice, referring to her as an Inuit Spice Girl and a plump Chinese lady. Now, it is possible that these comments were not the main reason for the breakup. Taylor might have actually parted ways due to his controversial nature, fearing she'd get entangled in controversies associated with him. A source even told People magazine, quote, she had fun with him, but it was always casual. They are no longer romantically involved. And that brings us to present day, and finally number 12, Travis Kelce. The dating train has reached its final stop. Travis Kelce is the star tight end for the NFL's Kansas City Chiefs, who play at Arrowhead Stadium, where Taylor brought her Eras Tour in July 2023. So Travis Kelce shot his shot in the best way possible. He went to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert and was on a mission. He had made Taylor a friendship bracelet with his phone number on it, which he disclosed on a podcast with his brother Jason, and it worked. Fans later started noticing Taylor attending Chiefs matches at Arrowhead Stadium in September. Fans went nuts when Taylor was first seen sitting next to Travis's mother, Donna Kelce, in the NFL players' suite during the game, rocking a Chiefs jacket. Later that evening, Taylor and Travis were spotted together for the very first time when they drove out of the stadium and went to a team party in that area. Since then, Taylor has gone to so many of their games, and Travis even famously flew out all the way to Argentina to attend one of her Eras Tour concerts, where Taylor famously changed the lyrics of Karma to mention his name. They spent the New Year's together and brought in 2024 with a New Year's kiss. And some Swifties think this might finally be the one for Taylor, but time will tell. Taylor has received so much criticism over the years about her relationships, her songwriting, her breakups, but one thing is for certain, some of Taylor's best lyrical work would not exist if she hadn't been so transparent and honest about her love life and past relationships. And her music connects with so many fans and young women all across the world. And without it, Taylor wouldn't be the person she is today and have the fan base and support that she does from Swifties all across the world. So the next time you're singing a Taylor Swift song in the hallway, remember that her heart might have gotten broken for you to sing those lyrics. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this recap, please hit the like button because it truly does make a big difference, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.